Before we begin, if you haven't finished Season 1 of the Fallout TV show, I urge you to rethink watching this video, as there are potential spoilers littered throughout this script. If you choose to continue, you are doing so at your own risk, as you have been warned. With that being said, let us begin. In the wastelands of the Fallout universe, few factions command as much reverence and awe as the Brotherhood of Steel. Join us as we delve deep into the rich tapestry of their history, philosophy, and impact on the post-apocalyptic world. Our journey begins with the origins of the Brotherhood, born from the ashes of the Great War that ravaged the world. Led by the visionary Roger Maxson, a group of soldiers deserted their posts at Mariposa Military Base in California, uncovering the truth behind the government's sinister experiments. Maxson and his followers forged a new path, seeking refuge in the Lost Hills bunker, where they established the Brotherhood of Steel. Their mission, to preserve and safeguard the remnants of pre-war technology, lest it fall into the wrong hands and unleash further devastation upon humanity. But the Brotherhood's journey was fraught with challenges. As they expanded their influence across the wasteland, they encountered resistance from rival factions, such as the elusive Enclave and the Super Mutants. Yet, through perseverance and determination, the Brotherhood endured. Their ranks swelled with recruits drawn to their noble cause, and their influence spread far and wide. At the heart of the Brotherhood lies a strict hierarchy, with elders guiding the organization's decisions, paladins serving as elite warriors, knights as soldiers, and scribes as keepers of knowledge. Throughout the Fallout series, the Brotherhood's methods have sparked debate. Some see them as stalwart defenders of civilization, protecting humanity from itself. Others view them as techno-fascists, hoarding technology and wielding power without oversight. The Brotherhood is both revered and feared in equal measure, as each chapter of the Brotherhood operates autonomously, with its own leadership and priorities. On the West Coast, the Brotherhood at Lost Hills remains vigilant in its mission to preserve technology, becoming isolationist and cutting themselves off from the outside world. Others, like the East Coast Brotherhood under Elder Maxson, embraced a more altruistic approach, aiding wastelanders in battling threats like the Institute. This approach allowed them to advance their technology beyond that of the Western chapters, and by the time of the TV series, the East Coast Brotherhood has strong leverage over Brotherhood politics, with Elder Maxson and his clerics being able to exert a controlling influence over the West from their eastern power base. We see this when an airship with a complement of vertibirds and knights donned in T-60 power armor arrive in the Los Angeles Boneyard, to the surprise of the local Brotherhood chapter. We stop and think back to a time when the Brotherhood of Steel emerged from the ashes of the Great War, born out of a desire to preserve humanity's technological knowledge and prevent the horrors of nuclear devastation from repeating. But in the TV series, we're starting to see the Brotherhood act more as a violent force that subjects the wasteland to its will, as major political powers waver. Amidst the conflicts and controversies, individual members of the Brotherhood who once displayed loyalty, honor, and a sense of duty have begun to show weakness and cowardice in the face of adversity, leading to certain members of the Brotherhood desiring a return to the traditions and practices of the past. As the Brotherhood's increase in scope only brings with it more enemies, critics accuse them of elitism and hoarding technology for their own gain, while others question their methods and rigid adherence to their founding principles, with wastelanders seeing the faction as no more than armor-clad murderers who are no better than the lawless raiders they claim to be against. And in the past, we have seen instances where Brotherhood chapters exhibited behaviors more in line with death squads than honorable knights, with one instance in particular being the massacre referred to as the Scourge, in which the Eastern Brotherhood, under the leadership of Owen Lyons, entered the pre-war city of Pittsburgh and slaughtered most of its inhabitants in a single night. Their one standing order: to kill anyone and anything that looks like it can put up a fight. When the smoke cleared, nothing but ash remained from the laser-burnt corpses left in the Brotherhood's wake. They gathered whatever children they could find and assimilated them into the Brotherhood as per doctrine. The town of Philly seems to have met the same fate. But we must keep in mind, as the wasteland continues to evolve, so too must the Brotherhood. New enemies emerge, ancient alliances crumble, and the very foundations of the Order are put to the test. In the TV series, we are introduced to the fall of the NCR after the destruction of Shady Sands. This, coupled with the faction's food shortages, mass displacement, and humanitarian crises that already placed a significant strain on the Republic's resources and governance capacity, led to a complete destabilization of the NCR in California. and with its military overextension that was hinted to be a major issue for the government in Fallout New Vegas, the faction was unable to muster martial law and maintain order in its capital territory. We believe the Brotherhood by the time of the TV show in 2296 have many reasons for why they are portrayed the way they are and function the way they do, but we have summed it down to 5 major reasons. 1. Threat perception. Over time, the Brotherhood has come to perceive external threats, particularly those posed by rival factions and the misuse of advanced technology, as existential dangers. Encounters with aggressive factions like the Enclave, super mutants, and various raider groups have reinforced the belief that a strong military presence is necessary to protect the Brotherhood's interests and ensure its survival in the harsh wasteland. 2. Leadership. Changes in leadership, such as the ascension of Elder Arthur Maxon in 2283, have played a significant role in shaping the Brotherhood's militaristic direction. Maxon's leadership style emphasizes traditional Brotherhood values, such as the preservation of technology and the enforcement of strict codes of conduct, but also advocates for a more proactive and aggressive approach to dealing with perceived threats. On top of all this, the East Coast Brotherhood believes Maxon to be the supreme commander of the entire Brotherhood of Steel due to his namesake, which places intense pressure on the Elder Council and the current High Elder as Maxon's presence takes more and more power from them due to his legitimacy. 3. Doctrine reinforcement. The Brotherhood's core ideology, which revolves around the preservation and control of advanced technology, has become increasingly entrenched over time. Militarization serves as a means of enforcing this doctrine and asserting the Brotherhood's dominance in the wasteland. This militarization is often justified as necessary for the Brotherhood's survival and the protection of humanity from the dangers of unchecked technological advancements, with the technology of the Institute and the Enclave being 2 major variances the Brotherhood is firmly against. 4. External pressures. The Brotherhood's interactions with other factions, particularly those that challenge its authority or possess advanced technology, have influenced its militarization. Perceived threats from factions like the Enclave, Institute, and the NCR have led the Brotherhood to adopt a more aggressive stance in order to assert its dominance and secure valuable resources and technology. And 5. Cultural and ideological factors. Within the Brotherhood, there is a strong emphasis on honor, duty, and loyalty to the organization. Though this culture of militarism is reinforced through rigorous training, hierarchical structures, and hazing which firmly limits what was once a sense of camaraderie among members. As a result, individuals within the Brotherhood may be more inclined to support militaristic policies and actions in defense of the organization, but self-centered goals and bitterness towards one's peers, superiors, and subordinates now flows rampant within its ranks. With the Enclave once again making an appearance in the wasteland, coming out of hiding after they were believed to have been eradicated in the West, the Brotherhood must be on high alert. As we know that it was the Enclave who initiated Project Safe House, which led to the formation of Vault Tech. The Brotherhood views the Enclave as a significant threat to the wasteland and humanity as a whole. The Enclave's goals often involve the reassertion of pre-war government control and the elimination of mutated life forms, which the Brotherhood sees as conflicting with its own mission to protect humanity and preserve advanced technology. The Enclave's access to advanced pre-war technology, including advanced weaponry, power armor, and even experimental biological weapons, is a cause for concern for the Brotherhood. The Brotherhood fears that the Enclave's technological superiority could be used to dominate the wasteland or unleash devastating weapons of mass destruction. The Brotherhood also opposes the Enclave on moral grounds, particularly their willingness to sacrifice innocent lives and manipulate events for their own ends. The Enclave's experiments on humans, including the creation of the forced evolutionary virus and their use of the Purifier in Fallout 3, are seen as egregious violations of ethical boundaries by the Brotherhood. As of right now, we don't know exactly how the Brotherhood views this newfound cold fusion tech and what their plan is with it. In many instances, the Brotherhood's primary objective when encountering the Enclave is to eradicate them completely. This goal reflects the Brotherhood's belief that the Enclave represents a clear and present danger to the wasteland and must be neutralized in order to protect humanity and ensure the survival of civilization. Will the Elders deem that cold fusion technology is too dangerous to be shared with the rest of the wasteland? Only time will tell. You may be asking yourself now, what are the capabilities of the Brotherhood after their campaigns in the East? Well, let's go over them. The Brotherhood of Steel possesses a wide range of capabilities that make it one of the most formidable factions in present time. These capabilities include advanced technology. The Brotherhood is known for its access to and expertise in advanced pre-war technology. This includes power armor, energy weapons, a robust air force, robotics, and other high-tech equipment. The Brotherhood's technological prowess gives it a significant advantage in combat and allows it to maintain control over valuable resources and territories spread out amongst chapter cells. Military strength. The Brotherhood maintains a large and well-trained military force, composed of various ranks and specialties. This includes initiates, aspirants, squires, knights, and paladins, each with their own roles and responsibilities. The Brotherhood's military strength allows it to project power across the wasteland and defend its interests against external threats. Strategic assets. In addition to its military forces, the Brotherhood possesses strategic assets such as fortified bunkers, bases, and outposts. These locations serve as command centers, research facilities, and storage depots for valuable technology and resources. The Brotherhood's control over these strategic assets enhance its ability to exert influence and defend against attacks. Logistical infrastructure. The Brotherhood maintains a robust logistical infrastructure to support its operations and supply its military forces. This includes supply lines, transportation networks, and logistics personnel responsible for procurement, distribution, and maintenance of equipment and supplies. The Brotherhood's logistical capabilities allow it to sustain prolonged military campaigns in theaters from DC to areas such as Boston, and if need be as far north as Bar Harbor, Maine. Training and discipline. Brotherhood members undergo rigorous training and indoctrination to instill discipline, loyalty, and combat proficiency. Initiates are trained in basic combat techniques and Brotherhood ideology, while knights and paladins receive specialized training in weapons, tactics, and technology. This training ensures that Brotherhood members are well prepared for the challenges of the wasteland and capable of carrying out their missions effectively. Intelligence gathering. The Brotherhood engages in intelligence and reconnaissance operations to gather information on potential threats, enemy movements, and valuable technology. This includes surveillance, espionage, and infiltration operations conducted by Brotherhood operatives to assess enemy capabilities and vulnerabilities. The Brotherhood's intelligence capabilities allow it to make informed decisions and preemptively respond to emerging threats. Research and development. The Brotherhood invests in research and development to further its understanding of pre-war technology and develop new innovations. Scribes are responsible for cataloging and studying recovered technology, while researchers and scientists work to reverse engineer, improve, and adapt pre-war technology for Brotherhood use. This research and development effort ensure that the Brotherhood remains at the forefront of technological advancement in the wasteland, only rivaled by the likes of the Enclave and Institute. Now, with these capabilities, the Brotherhood has had to adapt and evolve to maintain its newly acquired capacity. The Brotherhood now relies on a steady influx of recruits to replenish its ranks and maintain its military strength. To sustain itself, the Brotherhood must actively recruit new members and indoctrinate them into Brotherhood ideology. This is noted in the TV series when a senior member states that squires are easily replaced. With many aspirants available to fill the role, the Brotherhood must now maintain and defend its assets against external threats. With the Brotherhood now expanding its vertibird numbers, this will prove to be a vital link between the chapters spread throughout America. The Brotherhood's expansionism requires an increase in resources such as food, water, fuel, and materials to sustain its operations and support its members. The Brotherhood must secure and manage access to these resources, whether through trade, scavenging, agriculture, or other means. This ensures that the Brotherhood can meet its basic needs and maintain its operational capabilities in the wasteland. How the Brotherhood is doing this has yet to be made apparent. In recent years, the Brotherhood has had trouble forging alliances and managing its relations within the wasteland. As it stands now, the Brotherhood must navigate complex diplomatic relationships and alliances with other factions in the wasteland. To have any hope of sustaining itself, the Brotherhood must forge alliances with factions that share its goals and values, while managing relations with rivals and potential threats. This proves complicated as the Brotherhood's doctrine prohibits it from sharing its technology or allowing any other faction to exist with advanced technology. The wasteland is a dynamic and ever-changing environment, presenting new challenges and opportunities for the Brotherhood. the Brotherhood must adapt and evolve its tactics, strategies, and technologies to meet the demands of the Wasteland. This includes innovating new solutions, responding to emerging threats, and leveraging its strengths to overcome adversity. The future isn't certain, and the direction of the Brotherhood could splinter in many different directions. The Brotherhood's rigid hierarchy and adherence to doctrine could lead to internal strife and fragmentation. Differences in ideology, leadership, and strategic priorities may divide the Brotherhood, resulting in more splinter factions or civil war. The emergence of new enemies, such as advanced artificial intelligences, the Vault Tech boogeyman, or even extraterrestrials, could shift the balance of power and test the cohesion of the Brotherhood. Whether the Brotherhood continues to stand as a dominant force in the Wasteland or fades into obscurity will depend on its actions, decisions, and interactions with the world around it. Will the Brotherhood of Steel adapt to meet the challenges of the Wasteland, or will they become relics of a bygone era, consumed by their own rigid beliefs? Like and comment below with your take on the Brotherhood's current situation.